Welcome everyone to this episode of Practitioners Viewpoint Series. In this episode, we are going to talk about how researchers and health and fitness professionals can package their knowledge online and make a living out of it. And we have a great guest for today's episode. Our guest is co-founder of a company called AweSM. He is a sales and marketing coach and a business strategist. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our guest, Erik Nyvoll. Welcome, Erik.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really honored to be on this podcast. So I look forward for this.
Yeah, nice to have you. So, should we start with the introduction? Would you like to tell a little bit who you are?
Yeah, so I started like an entrepreneur when I was 22 years old. I'm 43 now, so I've been an entrepreneur 21 years. Started to run a computer company because I have a computer background, and then in 2010 I was fed up with that. And I started to be interested in personal development. So I went to my first Tony Robbins event in 2003, and then I was hooked on personal development. So I decided that I want to bring international speakers to Scandinavia. I'm from Norway, and that went okay, but it was growing too fast. And in 2015, we need to bankrupt the company. We had 10 people in the company, and we had hundreds of events per year. And then I figured out, what should I do now? I was fed up with having employee. So I was thinking, what can I do? Like me and my girlfriend, we are running the company together. What can we do that we don't need any people? And just like start to think about this online business. I've been a sales trainer, so I was teaching sales. And my first thing when I started an online business and also selling my knowledge online was to selling a sales course. And when I started to do this, already before I sold my first course, someone contacted me and said, Pt1, can you help me to build an online business? And I'm like, hey, I not succeed yet by myself. Why are you asking me? There's so many out there who know how to do this. I'm trying to figure out this out for myself now. But then I started to be hooked on online marketing, and this was back in 2017. We also figured out we want to move to another country. So I've been living in Vietnam for 4.5 years now. So I'm living straight on the beach with Maria, my girlfriend, and her 2 kids. And today I cannot say that I don't have any employee. I learned from my mistakes. I have a CEO in the company now to take all the management. But today we are 19 people, and we are teaching sales and marketing to, I call it coaches, consultants, or info entrepreneurs. So everyone was selling or package the knowledge online. That's what we are teaching and helping them to build a funnel, to find the right pricing, find the products, all these things. So yeah, that was a short introduction of my life over 22 years.
Yeah, nice story, interesting story. So our listeners are mainly researchers and health and fitness professionals. So we could go, how do you see how they can benefit of packaging their knowledge online, how they can benefit from the modern tools, social media?
So yeah, I think in this world now, especially after these 2 crazy years we didn't expect at all, one thing that have changed is people are more and more interested to learn things online. They are we are more in a we after people doesn't want to go to office anymore. So there is 2 reasons behind that. Is to sell your products online. That is easier to deliver it. It's what I have seen with many personal trainers, at least. I also have been working with some few researchers, but personal trainers, they get easier to people to take a decision when you can package a personal trainer program online and do it online instead of people going to a studio or whatever you're doing. So it's kind of easier to do it, and people will pay more for it. That's also, because many say, yeah, but if I'm a personal trainer or something and I do it, I cannot charge the same for online. But the thing is, yeah, you can do that. You can charge even more for it. So that's kind of, and also researchers. I think everyone will have something in their head that you can share with the world. that will help people to see things, that will help. It could be businesses, it could be personal life, but is there a knowledge? There's so much scalable. It's so much easier to get the information instead of meeting a researcher or meeting a personal trainer at place. So I think it's just a benefit, and also an important thing, you can charge more for it. And I really mean you can charge more for doing things online than you do offline.
Yeah, that's interesting when you say that you can charge more. So do you see it in a way that, for example, if you are a physiotherapist, for example, and you specialize to, let's say, Achilles tendon, you really have the specific knowledge of injuries or problems with Achilles tendon. So you are the very expert of a small niche. And when you have world as your customer base, is that the reason why you can charge more, or why do you say that you can charge more from online things?
It's easier to access it. People doesn't need to travel to a place, and also like you said, you can find people who have have problem with the axle or something like that. They have problem. I had one guy who was a physiotherapist. He was an expert on shoulders, so he made an online program over, I think it was 3 months program, and it charged €3,000. So he wanted to help people who had shoulder problems with how to get, because they have tried everything, but he was so expert on just the thing about shoulders. So he made an online program where he worked with a group, and he helped people that had been struggling with their shoulder for many years. So of course, the problem with many people, they don't know there is a solution for their problem sometimes. So it's all about, you need to be really specific on the problems, and the example you're saying, more niche you are, but more easy it is to succeed online. If you're just like a physiotherapist, it's like everyone is a physiotherapist. Why should I go to you? But if you are specific on a specific problem, so that's back to kind of talking about target niche, because many think about target niche like, oh, I want to get women between 40 and 50 who are working in this environment. But there is no one who, that's not a niche. A niche is to solve a problem. So we should start with a situation people are in. I can give some examples from my own life, and this is not in the niche we are talking about, but just giving some example of what I mean. For example, I see a lot of relationship coaches showing up in the newsfeed on my Facebook, because I'm also helping a lot of relationship coaches, and they have like saying, "Oh, you don't have the relationship you want anymore. You have some communication. It was not like it was the first month. Do you have this? You don't know what you should talk about when you have something, or you're just growing in from each other." And Maria and me, we don't, my girlfriend, we don't have that problem. Of course, we can always get it better in the relationship. But there is one thing that is hard to be an entrepreneur and work together. That's when every week we go to a date night, and we go to that date night. I promise myself, maybe not her, but I promise myself that I should not talk about job. So when we sit down there and we maybe eat a nice dinner, and then I start to talk about, because I'm passionate about what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. So every time, even if I know I should not do it, I say, I talked with this client today. Oh, what about this product? Should we do that next time? So if I see an ad on Facebook saying like, hey, are you working together with a partner and we have a romantic evening, you start to talk about work. It's like I'm already sold. It's like so specific, and I will pay a lot for that solution, because it's not about the relationship. It's about a specific situation that I want to behave differently. And of course, I know we can get it better, and I feel better with myself if I can go to a date night and never talk about work. If I can have something, someone can help me with that. So I think that's the thing. When you go online, you can be so specific on it, and also solving a really niche problem.
Yeah, that really makes sense. I like it. So how do you see the best format if you have a niche thing that you are doing, and should you make like an online program that is fully scalable? Should you have like distance consulting, that you have like video calls here and there? How would you package it online?
So I am a big fan. So there is I think this is also up to the person what they want to do. But what I have seen and what I'm surprised over, this is also in my business what I'm doing. Group groups works better than one-to-one. There's like everyone think about, oh, I want to work one-to-one. The problem with having one-to-one sometimes it's like you don't get others' experience. You don't get others' thoughts about it. So having a group is also a more scalable program. But sometimes when coaches or when personal trainers or start to work with us, then they maybe start with a one-to-one program and start to teach that, like having an online program that. And when you do this right, it doesn't take a long time before your schedule is booked. And that's not freedom. I think everyone, or at least me, I want to deliver the content I have, but I also want to protect my own time and my own freedom. So many start maybe with one-to-one, and then they go more and more over to a group program, and so it's more scalable if you have that. There's also I'm more fan of high ticket offer, what they call it. So you charge like let's say you charge like 3,000 to 6,000 or 10,000 euro for a 6 month program where you're going to help your client to go from A to B. Could be losing weight, could be running a marathon, it could be going on a mountain with your grandchild. It's like, but there is like that's also what we talk about. You are in a place now and you want to go another place, but you know how long time you need to work with a person to get there. And people will pay more for a solution that they know after 6 months I can go on this top, or I know I can run this marathon, because that's the promise. So we also need to have a big or a more clear promise, but that's also why you cannot work with everyone, because you can't promise. The big promise will be so vague if you go too broad. So it's again what you can do. So I like the high ticket offer, and we also have personal trainers that are just making an online course, the video production, and they film a lot of exercises or do things like that, and they do that over, for example, a 6 to 8 week course, and maybe they charge like 600 to 1,000 euro for that. So yeah, but my favorite is high ticket offer. So yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say? I would guess there's some professionals that they would say that I have even a free course, or it's quite cheap course that I don't even get to sell it. Nobody's buying it. How could I even imagine selling a high ticket offer? What would be your advice and comments to them?
So Maria, my girlfriend, she made a circle about this, which really explained it really well, because this is typical. Someone tried to sell a online course or a free course. One thing is like interesting, like I saw statistics that 92% of people buying a cheap online course that will be under 200 euro never open it. They just buy it and they never open it. And I'm turning this upside down and just playing a little bit here. So if you are just want to make money and not want to help people, yeah, you can get a cheap course because people will not see it. You're not helping people, but you can make money on it. And so it's like, so what I mean with it is like, you can start with a course. Let's say you start with a course on 200 euro and you try to sell it and no one buys it. And then you try 100 euro instead. Still no one buy it. And then you go down to 50. What is happening with yourself? Your self-confidence is getting lower and lower and lower. And you're not standing out and saying that what I do is valuable. You're trying to say like, it's a desperate way of like, hey, just take it. So what is happening if you turn it around, if you charge more? So let's play with this 200 euro. What I'm saying, like, if you charge 200 euro or you have a high ticket offer with 2,000 euro, it's not 10 times more harder to sell something to 2,000 euro. Maybe it's like 10% harder. 10, maybe 15, not more than that. You need to do a little bit more effort. But if people were committing to a 2,000 euro, sorry, and the people were committing to a 2,000 euro service or product, they want to get this done. They are more committed and they will follow it. They will listen to it. They are more coachable. They are really like, they come to this place. Yes, I want to do this now. So what is happening? Like, you have a 2,000 euro client, and what is happening? They get result. You get more confident, and you are willing to charge more because you see how much value you are bringing to the table, how much life-changing experience you are getting out there when you're doing this. So, and that's the same if you're a consultant or researchers. If you charge more, people think more about what you are putting out there is valuable, and if they're more valuable, they get better result, and when they get better result, you get better testimonial, and get better testimonial, you start to get better confident, and when you get better confident, you can charge more. So so that's how I look at it, and that's what the reality also I see out in the market.
I think that makes sense. And if I go back to this, that you said that the group setting works better than one-on-one, why do you see that? Because people would think that they get more value when it's one-on-one, like they get the time, they get the attention. Why does the group thing work better?
So I can talk about our courses. Of course, we are teaching sales and marketing, but I can say what our participants are saying, because I have a good example. I had one who bought an expensive one-to-one package with me and work with me. And when they work one-to-one, I give them everything we have. So I also had a group on that period of time that was going through the same process. And the reason, and what's happening is, like, I will start to struggle with this person. Like, I couldn't get her. I tried to explain her what she do, but she just come back to me and said, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't believe in that. And I said, yeah, okay, you're not coachable, or I can't help you. Like, what should we do? So my desperate thing was to bring her into the group, because she come into a group with other people that was asking the question that she couldn't ask me, or also what I tried to tell her what to do, but she didn't get it. But when someone else in the group asked the question on their way, it was like, wow, this was Erik. No, I get it. No, I understand it. So she come back to me and say, Erik, I don't want to have one-to-one. I just want in the group. I can pay the same, but this group thing is so much better, because you get other people with other mindset, with other thoughts, with other idea, other insight, and you get it into your clients that have this thing. And that doesn't matter if it's sales and marketing, or if it's fitness or health, or if it's some research thing. It's just like, and also one thing that you get in a group, people are lonely. They feel so lonely. So when they work one-to-one, they just still feel lonely. If that's that they don't feel healthy, they always think, I'm the only person in the world where I have this problem. And if they are entrepreneur like we are helping, no one around me understand how it is to be entrepreneur. So just bringing like-minded people together with the same problem, again, that's so important. What I talked about, you need to have a really target niche. But if they have the same problem and they understand, like, hey, I'm not alone, and they are on this journey together. So I mean, that's a benefit that you don't get to one-to-one, but you get this group feeling, and you get like they feel like belong to something, and that can also make them more motivated and more inspired to really, do more of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you have kind of a peer support at the same time. And how do you arrange this kind of group coaching, or whatever you call? How could you practically explain, like, how would a schedule or an example course look like?
Yeah, so if you talk about personal trainers, it could be, you could have a forum. You could use Facebook group, or you can use Slack. We use that on many, so you can create a forum there with where they can chat with each other, so they can have this interaction. You can have like a group training every week, so we can have a set time that everyone comes in a Facebook group, or they come on video, or they come on Zoom, or there are many ways to do it. Like, they come together and they can see each other. You can have a chat, so everyone can chat in a start. But it's all about creating this feeling that they are together, even if they are sitting different places in the world or different places in a country. They feel like they get that. And then you can also make, like I said, or you talk about content, so we can also make some pre-recorded videos. So the package is like they get this feeling to be together. They get personal training maybe once a week. There is also other ways to do it. It depends on what you want to teach. And you get a forum like Facebook group or Slack, or a channel where they can meet and chat with each other and help each other with the progress. yeah, that's one way. And of course, if it's more like a health program, then it could be like a pre-recorded what they should eat or what they should not eat, and inspiring for that. And they can meet and discuss so you can discuss the topics for the week, and so they can get inspired for that, and they can have Q&A with them. So again, it's like this. I really mean that the environment was creating a place where they can meet is maybe one of the most valuable thing for people. And good thing with online also, maybe someone doesn't want to go to a workout or a training center because they don't feel good with themselves. They feel it's better to be home and get help from home. I mean, they get together with others who feel the same. They are again feeling that I'm not alone. I'm not the only one who don't want to go to the gym and train at the gym. There's others also. I want to train, but I want to train from home. So yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. And I was thinking, like, in case of, for example, physiotherapists or medical doctors, that how could you do the group session? Maybe not all people want their name to be there if they have a certain problem which they don't want to be public. There's reasons not to tell people widely that you have pre-diabetes or some problem. It might affect your job opportunities or so on. Do you have any solution? How would you do it in this kind of case?
Yeah, so you can't use Facebook if you want to have an anonymous group, because Facebook will always have your real name. If you don't, you can of course have a fake Facebook account, but I don't think that's allowed. But if you use Slack like a forum, you can tell your participant that come up with another name that is your real name. If you use Zoom like the session thing, they can come up with another name. And I also want to say one thing about this, because I have parents with drug addicted kids that I've been working with. I have many who are really like feeling like I don't want to show to the other. But again, when they start, and you like a course instructor or you like the professional, start to like push them a little bit to be more open, to feel you get this group experience. So I've seen many who have this like personal trainer, or could be helping addicted with drug problems, or could be someone who had I also had people I work with who are helping um, someone in the family I take a suicide voice in there, and they want to help the people around there to get back, and they don't want to talk about it. But everyone in the end, they are so skeptical about that. But when they start it and start to get these people into group again, if everyone has the same problem, they're really starting to open up, and they get a much better experience. So I think you can say you can be anonymous, but in the end, you get a better program if you can just push them a little bit, not too much, but push them a little bit to open up, because they many of these people, they need to share what they are afraid of. Everyone is afraid of something, even if it's sales and marketing, or even if it's like training, or if it's suicidal thing. There's something that they are embarrassed about talking about, but if you can open up a group and everyone talk about it, you can get better results with them.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask about this kind of general platforms for online courses versus making your own Facebook group. You probably know, for example, Skillshare, where you can make a course content, and basically people just pay a general monthly fee, and then they can go on all of the online courses that are in Skillshare. There's probably 1 million courses. How do you see this kind of platform courses, or making your own kind of more specific exclusive course?
Yeah, so we depend on what you mean with platform courses, but our clients, or what we recommend, is to have a sales and marketing system that also include a course portal. So we have like the most big ones in Europe, I think, is of course you have ClickFunnels with American, you have New Kajabi, you have Simplero, which is a Danish company, but it's also a great company. And we have something we call promote, which is called AweSM Online. And of course, you can also build your own with a WordPress. But I recommend that you buy a platform that have everything, because this platform I'm talking about now, you can do email marketing there, and you can sell your courses there, like payment platform. You can make sales pages, landing pages. you can make a funnel, you can have a payment provider, you can have everything in one place. So I recommend this ready build platform. But I'm not so good with Skillshare, so I'm not used it so much. I don't know how it works, but you need to provide, you need to set your own price and promote it by yourself. So I'm not fan of going on, there's also places where you can sell online courses for 10 or 15 or $20. Again, I'm not a fan of that. I think that you will make more money if you sell more high ticket offer and create it more exclusive for your client. So
yeah. So you basically answered my question, even though you didn't know the Skillshare. But yeah, it's kind of that people pay monthly fee, but they can access all the courses. So you are not kind of defining how much does it cost. But yeah, you said that you should be able to set
the
your
price.
own price.
Yeah.
And also, if I continue from this, how would you do, like, for example, with YouTube, with podcast, would you share some content freely on these platforms, or would you just do the marketing quite focused and then have a paid course?
So what we are teaching, and there is many ways of doing that. There's like 100 ways to Rome and 100 ways to go. I mean that the way we are teaching is the best one, but that's because we have succeeded with it. So of course you need to get traffic from a place. So it could be organic traffic. You can run a podcast like you are doing, and also we have a podcast, so we get there. The problem with just doing organic traffic, it takes so long time before you build up audience. I think it's good to have it, so that's also why we're doing it. But our favorite platform or favorite way of getting new leads in or getting traffic, it's paid advertising. So we are using Facebook ads and YouTube ads. That's the places where personal trainers should be, also researchers. Both this group will benefit from paid ads on Facebook and YouTube. But of course, if you have a podcast, it's the same thing. YouTube ads is a traffic channel. Facebook ads is a traffic channel. Facebook is also organic traffic channel. LinkedIn could be a traffic channel. Like podcast like we are doing now is also a traffic channel to get them into a funnel. I think like you don't need to have too many. I recommend one or two. So it's better that if you really want to do a podcast, you can go all in there and just build your podcast and make sure that you build up an audience with podcasts and you drive them to the next place. And next place, it's something they get for free normally. Like the next, you can charge a little bit, but even a cheap product. So we start on a funnel. So what we are teaching our people, I love live webinar, or live online presentation is kind of the same we're doing now. It's just like on video, and of course it's more planned than we're doing now because now we just have a chat. So we drive normally. We use paid ads, or else also what we're teaching, paid ads to a live webinar, and on the live webinar if we are selling something up to €1,500. We are selling it directly on a webinar. If you're selling high ticket offer with like more 2,500, 3,000 up to 10 or 15,000 or 20,000 euro, it's from a webinar, and then they book a call with you, which is normally a free, and then you have a process in the call that you turn them into a sale. So it's like this process that we are teaching step by step, and also what we are doing. That's how we get our client. It's like exactly the thing. So we're teaching what we are been succeeding with ourselves. So but again, I choose like 2, maximum 3 traffic channels. There is, I think, many also, or I know it, we get so overwhelmed by all the choices we have there, and you can't be best on Snapchat, Facebook, YouTube, podcast, Clubhouse, LinkedIn. You can't be, or even we can just continue all the places there. You just need to choose 1 or 2, and that's enough. Be really good at 1 or 2 places and get traffic from that, and just continue with it. I think also a problem, I know that a problem many have is like, we are looking for quick fix. You can easily build an online business in 3 to 6 or maybe a 1 year time. So for me, I remember first time I built my own business, it was people told me back in that time, like it takes 3 years before you can make money. And today that's not the truth. And I'm not trying to sell any quick fix, but it can go fast if you just do the right things. But also another thing is, like, normally someone come to our courses or programs and they want to do this thing, and they give up when they're finished. This doesn't work for me. And I say, hey, you just started. We didn't make money before you got 5 or 6 months. It took 3 months time. No, I need to find a new strategy. And then I just jump after. They're just looking for the magic pill. The magic pill is to just be consistent and figuring out one strategy. Doesn't need to be our strategy, but one strategy that makes you getting clients online, and tune it and tune it and tune it and do these small changes. Sometimes you maybe have a sales page, so you change the content on sales page, you change the price on the course, you change the way of selling, you change everything. But the problem, you don't know what was wrong, because normally it's like these tiny changes that make you succeed. And the good thing with online, what doesn't work offline, is repeatedly thing of data. So I can run a webinar, I have the same thing, and if the one webinar doesn't work, another one, I can go back and I can go back on the recording. When I was working more like a salesperson before, and I went in 3 meetings per week, and maybe two of them went well, and the third one didn't well. I didn't know why, because I didn't have the recording. I didn't know what it was. I was like, oh, I did the same. This was a jerk. He was a stupid guy. He didn't want to buy. But in the end, it was something I changed. It was something in my attitude, my present, something like that. But now today, I can look at a webinar that Maria and me are doing, and sometimes we don't get the result. And I'm like, what did we do wrong? We don't know. And then we are just watching a recording on what we did best and what we did worst. And we're like, wow, now we know it. So yeah, so that's good with doing online. I think I answered a lot now.
No, that's good. So if I summarize a bit, that you can have, first you have in top of the funnel where you want people's attention. You can have paid advertisement or few organic channels like a podcast or social media. Then you should have a free offer that's free or very cheap, that people get something from you. You probably get the email from them, and then you have a high ticket offer, which is usually a kind of an online course. Did I got it right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.